President Biden is announcing a major deal to get 100 million more doses of the coronavirus vaccine as the House gave final passage to his nearly $2 trillion coronavirus relief package. Skylar Henry is at the Capitol with more.
The motion is adopted.
The Democrat-controlled House has handed President Biden his first legislative win, passing the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan.
This day, we celebrate because we are honoring a promise made by our president.
The bill extends the $300 a week unemployment benefits. It also includes a tax credit of up to $3,600 per child. Direct stimulus checks could go out by the end of the month. $1,400 for individuals making under $75,000 and $2,800 for couples making under $150,000 a year.
You took the opportunity to put forth an agenda, and you didn't include bipartisan support.
The White House press secretary says President Biden plans on signing the legislation on Friday. In the coming weeks, the president and members of his administration are also expected to travel the country to bring attention to the bill's components.
Everything in the American Rescue Plan addresses a real need, including investments to fund our entire vaccination effort.
Wednesday afternoon, President Biden hosted the CEOs of Johnson & Johnson and Merck to announce a deal to purchase 100 million more doses of COVID-19 vaccine.
We need to match the miracle of science and the skill of manufacturing with the massive logistical undertaking of vaccinating over 300 million Americans.
Earlier this month, the two rival pharmaceutical companies agreed to partner to boost production of Johnson & Johnson's single-dose coronavirus vaccine. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.